What's up everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you doing? It's your boy Strasbourg. I hope you're all doing well. First things first, before we talk about the pedal, I am just coming off the back of a pretty hectic cold. So if I sound a bit fucked up, I apologize. Oh no, am I going to have to censor that? I don't think you can say that word too early in the video. I guess the song will have been there. Oh, it goes against every fibre of my Australian being to censor swearing. But anyway, can't say the dreaded C word on YouTube. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this fucking thing. The Tides from Holy Island Audio. This is the first pedal from Holy Island Audio that I'm checking out. And boy, is it a doozy. So Holy Island... Try and say that 3 times in a row. Holy Island Audio is a one-man effects operation based out of Cardiff in Wales. The bloke's name is Gwion, which must be a Welsh name. It's a cool name. Very interesting name. I like it. I like it a lot. And he has a great podcast as well called No Gods, No Master Volumes, which you should check out with the bloke from Tunnel of Reverb, whose name is escaping me. But is it Simon? We'll find out whether it is or isn't Simon. But anyway, it's a great podcast. You should check it out. But we're not here to talk about the podcast either. We're here to talk about this pedal. So this, I would say this is probably like the flagship pedal of Holy Island Audio. Correct me if I'm wrong. But basically what this is it's like a dirty, drivey, reverby type thing. It's like a multi-tap style reverby type thing with a drive circuit, and they're both connected, they're both one, and you turn one foot switch and it turns the drive and the reverb on at the same time. Like, we got none of that fucking like, here's a foot switch for drive, here's a foot switch for reverb bullshit going on here. It's all in one. The second foot switch is for an extra gain stage. Yeah, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So basically, from what I understand, it's a drive circuit that's kind of based on like your blues breaker type thing. And you've got your standard controls on here. So you got your gain, your tone, your volumes, usual shit. And yeah, this foot switch turns it on. This adds like a second gain stage, which has internal controls, I think, but it's working for me. And then there's a few other fun stuff. This big middle foot switch here, which is slightly higher than the other two, is like a swell. So you like step on it and it's a swells and like causes like the feedback, the reverb to kind of like oscillate in like a feedbacky type way, which is cool. Then you have the moisture control, which controls the amount of like wet, reverby type thing, reverby sound in your signal. And if you turn it all the way down, it's completely dry, which is cool. And if you crank it, it's not fully wet, but we will get to that. And then you have the color control, which kind of, to me, is the real unsung hero, because you can have that moisture control cranked up heaps. The color control really lets it like come through. It's basically a tone control for the reverb, and it really lets it like come through. You can crank the moisture and keep the color quite low, and it's this nice like ambient-y bed, but if you really want it to like poke its head out, you crank that color up. And then we got a couple of switches on here. So this one over here is the order switch, which basically puts the reverb either before or after the drive circuit within the pedal. Then we have the voicing switch, and basically like voicing 1, which is in the up position, is like the original Tides circuit, because this is like a Tides V2. Flick it down and it's like a darker, more gainy version. And they both sound cool. I prefer voicing 1, but that's just me. And then yeah, you have a swell control, which basically controls how much like the foot switch swells. I just keep that shit cranked, quite frankly. And then we have this toggle, and this is like a kill dry toggle. So basically, I think up is normal. Flick it down, your dry signal's completely gone, which is cool if you want to do like your big like washy kind of like ambient pad type stuff, you know, or you just want like kind of a funky like almost like far away, like kind of like, it's almost, I mean, I guess this is exactly what it is, but it reminds me of like the feeling of like, yes, you're only hearing, you're like playing guitar in like a massive like gym hall or something, or a big auditorium, and you're only hearing the guitar reflecting off the walls of the auditorium. Is kind of that the vibe that when you've got the kill dry and the moisture cranked. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. Also, we have what do you call it? Effects loop. So you can whack another pedal in the effects loop, and then it is affected within the reverb. I think it only affects like the reverb. So if you want to like add something funky into the reverb, you can throw it in through the loop there. In the playing segment you're about to see a bit later on, I threw the Fable from Walrus Audio in there, which was very cool. Had some very fun effects coming on. This was a bit of a bold choice for me to get, to be honest. I don't normally fuck with like pedals that do two things in one, where those two things are things I would normally have spread apart. And I know I just said things a lot. Basically, like, I am pretty traditional when it comes to like signal flow. I tend to have, delays and reverb and stuff up the end, drives up the front, the usual go. Something where they're put together is not something I would necessarily go for, because I naturally want to spread them out. Also, the fact that there's no independent control for the reverb or the drive, it's like you turn one on and it's like you can't just turn the reverb or the moisture, I guess you want to call it, in here on. It's like you've got to embrace everything together all at one. And that's not normally something I would, fuck with, but I decided to give it a go because I'm a big fan of his podcast and I like the kind of music that I feel like, and I'm making the kind of music these days that I feel like this pedal would suit. And so I just, on a whim, grabbed it and I'm loving it. I like kind of keeping the gain set a bit low and like a medium level of like moisture. And then if I set my like preamp style pedal, which for the song and for the playing later is the Citadel from Electronic Audio Experiments, set that to just kind of be pretty clean. Then I can have that, leave that first stage on where you're just getting that kind of push sound with like a bit of the reverb, and then you just kick on that second stage. You're laughing. Then I've got other drive pedals if I want to make it drivier. I've got other reverb pedals if I want to make it reverbier, but it's just a good kind of bass to leave on, and it's very cool is what I'm trying to say. And I like it a lot, and I have even been using it in my my band Citizen Rat. Go check us out. It'll probably make its way onto our next album on a couple of songs. I've really been vibing with this pedal, been using it live a bit. So yeah, enough rambling. Let's shut the fuck up and let's get to the playing. For the playing, obviously I'm going to be playing through this. Then I'm going to be using my Fender Jazzmaster with Lola Blademaster pickups. Going to be running into the Citadel from Electronic Audio Experiments, as I said before, which is just kind of acting as an amp thing, as a preamp, you could say. Then we're going into the Two Notes Torpedo Cab M Plus for my cab emulations, using like I can't remember what I have it set to, either a Zilla or a Kraken style thing. And then just straight out to me DAW, and that's it. And then later on you'll see me add the Fable into the loop of this. But for all intent, everything else stays the same. I just add this in. It's fucking play. Alright everybody, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do you have the Tides from Holy Island Audio? Do you like it? Do you have any of their other pedals that you like and would want to recommend to me? Because I like the Tides a lot. He's got a few other pedals that's like, ooh, that could be fun. So yeah, let me know if you've got any Holy Island Audio pedals and which one of those you like the most. And yeah, I guess have a good one. Tell your mother you love her. And as always, fuck off.